Hello YouTube, you welcome back to the channel. This is the Champions League review, the headquarters of all Champions League news, updates, statistics, and history behind each and every Champions League game. Today we are here to discuss about Atlanta versus Valencia. This is the Champions League run of 16 games coming up on the 19th of February 2020. We all know, looking at our video statistics we do earlier on, we've done a couple of videos. If you've not seen them, you should probably go and check it out. We did a video against Atletico Madrid and Liverpool. We did a video against Chelsea and Bayern Munich. If not, check it out. You better go and check it out. This is the Champions League review channel. This is what we do. We discuss about all the game statistics, history, and update of each and every single Champions League news. About Atlanta versus Valencia, as we all know, this is a very competitive side. They all come from the same category of game, although Atlanta is from a different league as well as Valencia. Atlanta is from the Italian Serie A and Valencia from the Spanish La Liga. Let's see how both of these teams qualify. Interestingly, all of these teams were in a very tough group, especially with Valencia, who were in a super tough group. Super tough group, but they managed to qualify. That was very competitiveness of the game. That is why they qualified. Now Atlanta was in Group C with Manchester City, Shakhtar Donetsk, and Dynamo Zagreb. Atlanta qualified on second of the group. Group C, they got 7 points, and Man City leading with 14 points. And the next third one was Shakhtar Donetsk, who dropped into the Europa League. You realize the difference between Atlanta and Shakhtar Donetsk were 1 point different. Really hard for them to decide. The game was really competitive group, of course. A group with Manchester City, you know there's a lot to expect from them. So Atlanta made it second to the group and they actually qualified. Talking about Valencia, the Valencia topped the Group H, where people didn't expect Valencia to qualify because they're in a group of Chelsea, Ajax, and LASK. People always take Chelsea and Ajax to qualify ahead of Valencia, but Valencia did well to top the group with 11 points, Chelsea second with 11, and Ajax with 10 points. They qualified the last day of the group matches when they were playing against Ajax, a very competitive game, of course, which happened, and they qualified. So they are in the round of 16 against Atlanta, and a very competitive game. We should be looking forward for very competitive match, of course. And if you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe and click on the notification bell icon so that you get notified each and every time we release a new video. And at the end of each and every single video, we give you the betting odds and as well as the prediction, so that if you're a fan of betting, you can predict and your betting company and get a couple of bucks. Okay, now see, looking at the Valencia team, we realize they've done a lot of good work this season. They've played in a lot of competitive matches, not to talk about the Champions League. The league right now, they are not actually doing great in the league as we know them to be. They are recently having some problem in the league, but when you go to the Champions League, they played very well. Right now, if you look at the Valencia team right now, they are very good side. They've scored 29 goals and conceded 25 goals. This is very bad statistics for them right now. They concede a lot of goals. I don't know, for some reason they like to open up the game and play their own half, and it has cost them 25 goals out of the 29 goals they've scored this season. And their main man right now, you can see Rodrigo doing a very good well in terms of assists, and Maxi Gomez with a lot of goals, scoring 7 goals for them this season. That is fantastic. He's having a very great, fantastic Valencia team. They have a lot of problems, not to talk about finding the problems, stopping opponents from creating chances, protecting the lead, defending against skillful players, defending against long shots, and avoiding fouls in dangerous areas. They have problems in all these areas. If you've watched the games in the Spanish La Liga, as well as you realize the game against Real Madrid in the Supercopa España, you realize they were causing a lot of fouls in their 18-yard box, which is dangerous for each and every team in the Champions League. So we are looking forward that they improve so that we get to see a very competitive match. But one thing we know for sure about Valencia team, that they are so aggressive. They are not that aggressive, but they really tend to be aggressive when they are playing against opponents that like to attack them more. So that's how come they concede a lot of fouls in their 18-yard box. And they are very strong in counter attacks. We know Rodrigo is very smart and fast when it comes to, and Maxi Gomez is very good when in terms of finishing. So if you give them more of this counter attacks, trust me, they are going to cause trouble. Now looking at the Atlanta team here. Atlanta team on the other half has scored 48 goals this season and conceded only 25 goals. I know 25 goals is a lot to concede, but they scored 48 goals and they are playing the Italian Serie A, not just the Italian Serie A. They are the kind of team that will guarantee you a lot of goals. So facing Valencia, who will also concede a lot of goals, will tell you, I don't have to make the math here. You should do the math yourself. You know Atlanta score a lot of goals and Valencia concede a lot of goals. So the statistics is now clear. I don't have to tell you what to do. So this season they've done a good work right now, although they've not actually won any European Champions League apart from the Coppa Italia. We know Valencia have won 2 times the Europa League, so they are there. But when it comes to the individual statistics. Gomez had assists with 7 and Muriel have 10 goals this season for the Atlanta side. They are doing well. They actually have a lot of problems just like Valencia, but it's actually better than Valencia. They have problems for stopping opponents from creating chances. They have problem defending counter attacks just like Valencia, and they avoiding individual errors. That means this team are a kind of team that give a lot of errors just by individual players. Not as a team though, but individually they have problem going forward. So we are looking forward to a very competitive game, as I've already said. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and click on the notification bell icon. So if you go to the betting front right now, betting companies are already done their statistics, and everybody is looking forward for Valencia to win. But this can go sideways. Trust me, it can go sideways. But if you look about the betting odds, Atlanta has 2.13 points of winning, and Valencia have 3.5. That means everybody knows it's going to go sideways. As I've told you already, Atlanta score more goals. Valencia this season have been conceding a lot of goals. But this is the Champions League. You can't write any team out. You saw their performance against Ajax. If you can get the same performance like that one in this round of 16 encounter, I'm not be surprised things are going to go sideways. They don't improve and they keep on conceding a lot of goals. Trust me, Atlanta is going to discipline them in this round of 16 Champions League. This is all you need to know about Atlanta versus Valencia. If not watch our previous video, I'll leave a link in the description. You should just click and watch. And if you don't follow us on social media, you are missing a lot of news and transfer rumors. So do sure to click on the link in the description and follow our social media handles so that you get notified of any news concerning the UEFA Champions League. This is the UEFA Champions League review, signing out.